Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Riche Life. I am so excited today to welcome Nimat Bilal to the show. Nimat is a natural hair care expert. She's also the owner and founder of Fabulocs natural hair care products and services. And Riley actually goes to Nimat's salon. So we get a chance to see her work, and we love going there. So I thought it would be great.
We love Riley.
Oh, thank you. Everyone loves Riley, yeah. But I thought it would be great to have Nimat on the show today so that you could get some professional tips on how to care for your natural hair. And particularly, I want to cover the summer especially. You guys, I'm rocking my summer do. You know, I love my summer cornrows, but I want to make sure that we're getting some really great tips for keeping our hair nice and well maintained and moisturized during the summer from a trusted expert. So let's get right into it. Welcome, Nimat, to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
So let's start off today just with a breakdown of, so we're talking natural hair, but what exactly does that mean in terms of what you do?
Well, there are a lot of ideals about what natural is, because once you even heat process hair is no longer considered natural hair to some people. If you color your hair, that's a chemical, right? So some people say, well, no, you don't have natural hair. But most of us will say if you don't have relaxed hair, then your hair is natural. So that's what most of us will go with.
And then within the realm of natural hair, we have so many different types of natural hair, right? And one of the reasons of several reasons I wanted to have Nimat on the show is for selfish reasons. Riley and I both wear our hair natural. I would say I don't have a relaxer, of course, neither does she, but our hair types are really different. And so I have to make sure that I'm doing the best for my hair and Riley's hair too. So within the realm of natural hair, what would you say the different classifications are in terms of
I like to stay very basic, because they're different generations of people, right? So I'm a salon owner. We meet people that are children, teenagers, middle-aged, seniors, and everyone is not familiar with the technical terms in hair, and it can become very confusing. So we stick to kinky, coily, curly, wavy, straight, right? And then you're either going to have soft hair or you're going to have dry prone hair, right? And there are always other variables based on your health, the health of your hair, but also your nutritional health, right? So, that's a long list, but those are the two things that we stick with, kinky, coily, curly, wavy, or straight. Then is it dry prone, or is it, otherwise? Yeah.
So I want you to break down for me what each hair type means. So you say kinky, coily, wavy,
curly, wavy,
straight. So what does each one actually mean?
Okay. Well, kinky hair, there's an array of kinky hair, right? So it's not just one type of kinky strand and they all look alike. So it's more so hair that's hard to manage because the curl pattern is tight. Okay. So you could say tight curl, right?
Okay.
Coily hair has a lot of the same characteristics as kinky hair. Usually you can kind of see the definition. It's a little easier to manage.
Okay.
Curly hair you can definitely clearly see that the hair is curly. It normally works very well with wash and go products, lotions. Once you go beyond coily, once you get into, curly, wavy, and straight hair, the lotions and the lighter products work a lot better. Okay. Or the water-based products will work a lot better, because those hair types, normally those people that have those hair types have, more oil production in their scalp. So, their hair stays moisturized. For the most part, they have soft hair, so they don't have the same worries that someone with kinky or coily, more dry prone hair may have. Okay. And then when you get to wavy, it's pretty much straightforward. It's like wavy, right, and then straight. We primarily deal with kinky and coily hair types. That's our primary clientele. Every now and again, we'll get someone with curly. But to be honest, most hair types are mixed. There's not just one. And that causes frustration as well.
So how do we pick the best products that work for our hair?
This is where professional advice comes in. Okay. Where are you starting, right? Where you're getting ready to wash your hair. What is the starting point? Is my hair soft right now that I'm getting ready to wash it, or is it dry? That should dictate what kind of shampoo you're going to use. So you may not just have one shampoo, you know what I mean, in your
yeah.
cabinet. You may have a shampoo, you know, a sudsing shampoo that may strip when you need it. You may have a cleansing conditioning cream, right, which is a combination. Are you familiar with the cleansing conditioning cream?
Co-washes, or is
Well,
that different?
no, that's not, okay, so there's confusion in it.
Okay.
So people wash some people will wash their hair with conditioner, right? There's no cleaning agent in there. So a lot of times that's referred to as a co-wash, you know. But then, when you have a cleaning agent in the product, say it's a co-wash with the cleaning agent in it, or light sudsing, then that may be referred to as a cleansing conditioning cream.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Which is my professional opinion, right? Because so many of us have scalp conditions. You can't have dandruff, dry scalp, dermatitis, and all these things and use conditioner to wash your hair. You have to, it's fungus, bacteria, you have to wash it out.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that's something people need to think about if you're using co-washes and you have scalp condition, right?
Okay, so we want a cleansing conditioning cream.
Cleansing conditioning cream.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
When it comes time to wash your hair, what state is it in and what does it need?
Okay.
That should determine what product you're going to use, right?
Wow.
And how heavy or not the product should be. And then there's also such thing as layering, paying attention to layering moisture. So for example, say you're using a cleansing conditioning cream or co-wash, right? And when you approach your cleanse, your hair was soft already, right?
Okay.
You're probably not going to deep condition your hair. You know, I mean, why would you do that if you don't need that? But say you do, your hair was already soft, now you use something else that's going to moisturize and soften. And now you're going to do a third layer of moisture, right? That's conditioning. You know, that's a lot. Then you haven't even got to your oil or your moisturizer. That's like 5 layers of moisture. Did you need to do all that? Which one of those products should have been light? Where do you need to heavy up? You know, things like that. And it's actually really important if you want to grow long hair. You know, if you want long, healthy hair, especially if you have dry prone hair.
So what about when it comes to getting your hair trimmed? So how often should you be getting your hair trimmed when you wear it in its natural state? And then what's the best way to trim it?
Okay, so in terms of trimming the hair, if you're manipulating your hair a lot, you're going to need more trims.
Okay.
So if you're going in, like people that wear their hair out in out styles like mine, normally need more trimming because you're going into your hair a lot more. You're manipulating it, you're combing it, you're handling it, and the ends tend to split more.
Okay.
So you have to pay attention to your hair. You know, once your hair starts becoming unmanageable, and you'll know because that comb is going to get stuck.
Oh, so that's a big sign.
Exactly.
Okay.
The comb getting stuck, right?
Okay.
The ends starting to bush out before the rest of the hair. These are signs that you have split ends, right?
Okay.
Right, and then of course the look of thinness toward the ends of the hair. So yeah, so if you're manipulating your hair a lot, you're going to need more trims.
Okay.
If your hair is in protective styles, however, and it's healthy, right, then you can go much longer without needing to trim your hair. So I'm not a person that believes in rituals when it comes to hair. How often should I oil my scalp? How often should I wash my hair? How often should I? Well, you have to pay attention to your hair, and that should tell you what to do, not that you would be on any ritual.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And that makes so much sense.
Yeah, it does. And in terms of do you cut the hair wet or do you cut the hair dry, right? So people that wear a lot of wash and goes styles, I would recommend cutting the hair wet because usually there are multiple textures of hair and the hair shrinks differently depending on the textures that you have. So if you were to blow dry it, you'd get this wonderful even cut. Then it shrinks into something that looks like you just didn't, I don't know what happened. So that's normally how I decide.
Okay.
People that wear, you know, my hair is shaped. It's shaped into kind of a fro. If I wanted to cut my hair wet, I could because my shrinkage isn't a whole lot of shrinkage and it's pretty even.
Okay.
You can tell. So we'll just say the rule of thumb is if your hair is even, like your curl pattern is pretty even all over, like you don't have kinky and then this part's wavy and then this part's coily, then you could do it that way, you know, and still get a nice even cut. Even when you blow dry it, it looks, you know, like you have a nice cut.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's how I would determine it.
So before we move on to the next segment, we're actually going to be making a DIY hair moisturizer. I'm very excited about that. But before we move on to that, I want to ask you specifically about the summer. Okay, so your best tips for keeping our natural hair nice and healthy through the summer, knowing that we've got lots of different hair types going on, but what are the biggest tips you can share with us to keep our hair healthy during the summer?
So say you're looking at a style like mine, this would be considered a high maintenance hairstyle in the summertime because you have the humidity, you have to reapply product, and it is a high manipulation style. So it may work for some, may not work for others. If you have the time to take care of it without damaging your hair, then you can wear it. Right?
Okay.
So, you know, the person, are they really invested in taking care of their hair? If you're not, then you need to go into some braids or some twists.
Right.
You know, protective styling.
Okay. It's great.
Protective styling is called protective styling because it's protective styling. So that's the thing, you know what I mean? So it's really going to depend too. So say you want to wear your hair short because maybe you're not great with hair. You always wanted to try a short hairstyle or what have you. This would be the time to do that as well, especially if you're swimming, working out. So if you're thinking of cutting your hair, summertime is a great time to do that.
Okay.
The humidity in the air, you know, that helps too. You know, that keeps your hair moisturized. In my case, it causes it to frizz out a bit, but that's part of my style, so I don't mind that.
Okay.
That's another thing.
Okay.
So it really depends on the starting point. You know, when spring is here and you're trying to make the decision, is your hair healthy? What do you need to do? And what are your intentions?
Okay.
You know, if you're trying to get your hair healthy for summertime, if that is your goal, and it's not healthy in the beginning of the summer, then you're going to go into protective styling. That's going to be your summer. That's your summer style.
Okay.
Put your hair away. Braids, you can put it away. You can do crochet now where all your hair is braided down and hair is added, right? So the concern has a lot to do with that. But primarily maintaining moisture in your hair, you know, for the summertime. And because you may be manipulating your hair, making sure that you're not overdoing it, splitting your ends, you know.
What I gathered is it all depends. Right.
It all depends.
It all depends.
That's it.
I think
that we could have just said that.
I know.
Yes.
Message, it all depends. And I'm so glad that we got this from a trusted professional. I feel like I just learned so much, and I know you guys did too. There's so much out there all over social media from people who are, you know, doing it themselves, which is fine, but it's fine for them. And so I wanted to make sure that we all got some great tips from someone who could give us just a wide variety of tips and finish off with, it all depends, because it does.
It all depends.
Right?
But is that scary to people? Because then they're like, oh my gosh, no guidance instead of the wrong guidance.
Well, I think that in a way, I think that it can also be very empowering, right? Because no one's hair is going to be exactly like yours, right? I know even in our own household, I've got my own products, Riley has her own products, and I feel like I know so much more now, and I'm so much better equipped to deal with our hair in different ways, right? So speaking of dealing with hair, we are now going to transition to the kitchen where Nimat is going to show us how to make our own moisturizer at home, which, you know, we love a good DIY project here on The Rich Life, and it's going to be really simple too, because you know we like simple as well. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. So we're back and we're in the kitchen, and Nimat is going to show us how to make a really easy DIY hair moisturizer. I thought it would be really cool to have her here on the show doing this because people actually pay to see her do this at your public blender, right? It's called the public blender?
They do.
Yes, so tell us about that before we start, because I think it's really cool.
So the public blender is at Fabulocs. It's at Fabulocs Natural Hair Products and Services. We have 2 locations, so it's at our Central Avenue location only.
Okay.
And it's a place to come. We invite the public to come out. We talk to you about your hair. We do consultations to try to find out what your specific hair needs are. As you know, when you go to a stylist, they're going to have general products because we work on all different types of hair all day. So they may not have specifically what you need. So you can come in, get a really good consultation, and get a specialty product made just for you.
Wow, I love that. I love that. And I love your products. And I love that you're here showing us how to make your products in the Rich Life kitchen. I'm so lucky today, guys.
Yes.
All right, so now for the fun part. So what do we have here?
All right, we're going to make a moisturizer. And our moisturizer, this is a simple blend, but it's very effective. And we've got some powerful things and just simple things you probably have around your house. So first of all, this is shea. I choose to use white shea most of the time. I'm sure you've seen different colors of shea. Some shea has additive in it that gives it the color. I like white because, especially if you have lighter colored hair or salt and pepper hair, if the shea is yellow, it can stain your hair. So I would just, use white shea, then you don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
We're gonna put our shea in here like this. It's real simple. Again, you can just get this. I mean, most places have it these days. I mean, shea you can get at the beauty supply store, you can get it at the Safeway.
Yeah.
Pretty much anywhere. Go online and get it. Okay, so we have our shea in the bowl. And then there's olive oil. So olive oil is really great because, believe it or not, it's an antibacterial and an antifungal.
Okay.
Right?
Wow.
So people with scalp condition, olive oil is not a bad choice. And it's a great moisturizer, so we'll use this. Olive oil is a little bit heavier, so it's going to make the product a little heavier. If you didn't want to use olive, you could use safflower for a lighter moisturizer.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm going to start off by pouring the oil. You want to pour your olive oil into the shea and blend simultaneously. All right, so now that we have blended our olive oil and our shea butter, we're going to put lavender into our blend. And the great thing about lavender, since you're doing this yourself at home, is that it's really tough to use too much lavender. So that's what we as professionals always worry about, is people blending things. Lavender is, if you're gonna do it, lavender is a good one because you would really have to go very far to put too much lavender into your shea. But lavender is an anti-inflammatory, so it's really, really good for scalp inflammation. It's really good for stressed hair, just like you have body stress, stressed hair. So it's calming on the hair.
Okay.
And it has great moisturizing properties as well. Okay. So this is going to be awesome, an awesome combination with our olive oil and our shea. So I am going to smell this. Smells so great. Wait till I blend it.
I love lavender.
Wait till I blend it with the olive oil. So this is going to be 1 teaspoon of olive oil. Of lavender. I'm going to pour that on there. I would say just start with 1 teaspoon because this is essential oil, and essential oil is very strong. You don't need much more than 1 teaspoon for 16 ounces of shea and olive here. All right, now we're going to blend it all up. All right, so this is what we have.
Wow.
It makes me want to get a spoon and dive in.
Right, and the ingredients, this is such a simple recipe.
Yes, just shea, olive, and lavender. And you can use this on your body as well. So
I love that.
No need to waste anything.
Now, give us just some direction as far as how we should be using this on our hair.
All right. So this is your moisturizer. It's going to be your styler if you're doing 2-strand twist or protective style.
Wow.
Yes, and it's the sealant. So it's the last of the products you would put on your hair. So for example, if you're using an oil, use the oil first because you're going to follow it up with a sealant. So it's going to lock other products into your hair.
Oh, this is awesome. This is wonderful. I can't wait to try this out. I can't. I'm so excited.
You're going to love this. This is great.
And so we just store it in an airtight container.
Store it in an airtight container, and this is a natural product. So if it's too hot or too cold, it's going to affect the consistency of the product.
Okay.
The cool thing is if something should happen, you can always whip it back up and put it somewhere warm so that it can kind of soften up some because it is shea and it does stiffen.
Okay.
And then just whip it back up. You can add a little bit more olive oil if you need to, just to soften it up. But you can get this consistency back if you need to by doing that.
Okay, and about how long should we keep it?
Oh, well, shea is salty by nature, so the salt is a natural preservative.
Okay.
So you could keep this 2 years. It should be fine.
Whoa.
However, your lavender is an essential oil. So the more you open this jar, the essential oils they'll go away. They'll come out, they'll evaporate. Okay. So you may have to add a little bit more to your blend.
Okay. Wow. Thank you so much. I feel so educated and empowered after today's show. I mean, this is just really great. I love how this all came together. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
My pleasure.
Yes. Make sure you check out Fabulocs Natural Hair Gallery on Facebook, where Nimat provides so many more tips, so much more than what we could offer you today. But I hope that this was helpful to you, and I hope that you will try this at home, and of course that you subscribe to The Riche Life. Until next time, take care everybody.
See you later.